Okay, this video is of the 30th of March practice, mostly about zone this one, especially Dark's trap zone and a bit of transition zone and a bit of White's offensive play as well. So going to start off with this first clip. Alexis is bringing the disc to Brickmark, decides the Brickmark's here. Obviously in a real game it would be marked and we would definitely not want an early backhand to go. The initial structure is poor. Again, you need to get yourselves in good positions early. Jeffrey's far to the left. Buzz needs to be a bit deeper. We need to allow this disc to go to David. So it does go, and then it gets one back, and we can see that instantly this cup shape is messed up. Got three people in a line pretty much marking the same sort of spaces, so you need to get this shape a lot more like an L shape or V shape. And I don't mind Patrick being so far up at the moment because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 players and you can see 6 players in shot, which means that the deep must have 1 player. So I don't mind him being a bit aggressive at the moment, but later on he's too aggressive when there isn't so many people back. So eventually this gets swung, and we can see that again the shape is not quite right. Ko-Chung should be is roughly where he should be, but the cup, the Jeffrey should be more on this arrow, on this inside out. Doesn't have to be so close. That leaves Buzz to take Alexis and Nick to push up if need be. Chris is okay, though I prefer him to be more side on so he can see around. You can see that Jeffrey and Buzz both just looking at David with the disc, which means that they don't know what's going on around them. They need to be scanning the field more. They're too close together. Nick is directly behind still. Alexis is there, and Gordon is coming, but they should be able to pick those people up by themselves. You can see that Chris is scanning over here, and Patrick is now far too aggressive because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 offensive players with 6 defensive players. So this is an extra person. I don't mind this. Really don't mind Gordon catching the disc in here and then doing 1-2s. Just leave them alone. Let them gain 5 meters or something. But so you don't want to gain lots of possession, yardage, a lot of distance, but just the little pops and stuff, just leave them alone. Just get your shape. Once you're in your good shape, then you can maybe attack a bit more, especially Buzz if he knows the wing is there behind him. But at the moment, just leave this alone. Ko-Chung just needs to think about how to position himself and Jeffrey so the disc doesn't get out of the trap. So here, Jeffrey should be telling Ko-Chung not to allow the dump, and he should personally be more around as well. Okay, Jeffrey should have been where the end of the arrow is, and then if he's here, then he's got a chance of stopping the swing as well. Again, they're too close together. Okay, again looking forwards, but as soon as Buzz sees this go to Gordon, he needs to run this line on this arrow, not towards Gordon. He needs to run. This is going to happen. So let's stop the next possible pass and keep our shape. That's okay, don't mind that. Okay, Jeffrey turned around a bit there, that's good. But should have stayed on the left hand side, his left now, of Gordon on this yellow line-ish, and left him between the 2 players, not leaving a gap between him and Ko-Chung. Okay, this is a lot better shape now. Buzz has turned around, he can see this part of the field. Nick probably should be more in the hole, and that'll can push Jeffrey even more right. I can't tell about Patrick at this moment. Probably too aggressive. Probably needs to be roughly where my cursor is here. Depends where Chris and Alex are. I can't really see, but obviously there is 5 players here, so maybe it's okay. Can't quite tell, but if there's a player around here somewhere or coming from this deep position into this space, he's going to struggle. Okay, so there is someone, and he's coming back. So if he'd been here to start with, so if the hammer had gone up and it was a bit floaty, he could possibly get to it, then that's where he should be, like facing here, facing in towards the disc so you can see everything. Okay. As a call, Ko Chung's way too close on the mark generally on this point. Okay, you see there's 5 people, and they're well spaced out, so that's good by the offense. Jeffrey should be getting onto the line and then making it so if it goes back to Sonny here, and then Jeffrey can stop the swing. Okay, but Ko Chung goes too far around on the backhand, and this IO goes. They'd be better off if Ko Chung was a bit further away on the red line, Jeffrey was a bit further away on the red line, Buzz is fine, and Nick is pretty much fine. And Patrick is in the right position now, looking at any sort of big throws across the field. So at this moment, the disc is going across the field, so Jeffrey should be sprinting across the field to stop continuation and try to get the disc to come back, but it's not enough urgency going across. Still should be going further across because we want the disc to come back. Okay, this different point. Better start position. These two, as Chris and Buzz, are still too close. Buzz has turned around, good. Sort of seeing what's around him. We'll probably work out pretty quickly that Chris has got this, technically. So he should be thinking about coming into this middle space, which he does, which is good. Leave David alone. Now he's going to have to turn around and maybe stop Ken doing 1-2s, which he does. Nick should be getting information from Chris here. Chris should be further right, and then Nick could come round on this backhand a bit. I like the fact that Nick isn't too close. Okay. And when the disc does go back, it comes back into this hole, which is what we want. We don't want it to get swung. If it comes back in the hole and they get a couple of 1-2s, that's okay as long as they don't get out. But you'll see in a second they do get out because the cup overcompensates. So here Chris is a bit too close, should be a bit further back, especially considering where I am and Buzz is. And then we're both too close and it ends up getting broken to Sonny. And then we've got a hard job. Chris should really be on the other side of me. Now Chris should be seeing that the disc has been swung, should be sprinting across the field to stop the continuation. Ko Chung does a good job here. Chris still needs to keep going further. He's on the wrong side of the middle, which is me at the moment. Buzz is okay. Maybe push up onto the white line. Yeah, he does so anyway. Probably now the disc is getting swung. He has to sprint further wider, especially considering we're very close together. Okay. And now he should be running away from the disc. Should be looking, scanning the field. Don't care about Sonny getting a 1-2 here. Care about Gordon getting the disc past the cup, which he does do. Gordon probably should have looked downfield then, because you're past the cup. Once you're past the cup, just rewind it a little bit. Here, once you're past the cup, you should try to keep going forwards. If he'd turned and looked at David to get an easy throw, okay, because it's past the cup. Don't look for pop passes when the whole cup is still there. If you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players and 3 of your own players behind, that must mean that you're winning downfield. So you should be looking downfield. Cup shape, Buzz and Chris are too narrow. Nick, because they're too close to each other, Nick has come more flat and he should be further around. Chris should be further around. Buzz can be more open side. Allow Sonny to throw across the field. Chris should be looking. Buzz should be looking at these two. Is looking at these two players now, which is good. He's going to have to think about Gordon as well in a second. Oh, Gordon stops. Chris should be thinking about Gordon and going more right now. The disc is going to get swung back. It should get on the other side of Gordon. Let Ko-Chüng take the deeps. Buzz and Chris are too close together again. Again, the disc has been likely to be swung, so Buzz should be thinking about running away so he can take Thomas, and that leaves Chris then to pick up toe. At the moment, offense have got all of these options. Okay, so let's talk about taking away all these options. Obviously, Chris should be thinking, making sure the disc comes this way. So he should make sure the disc does not, him and Nick make sure the disc does not go back. I mean, Ko-Chüng is there as well, so it's unlikely. Nick should be running between Alexis and Ken to stop the easy disc going back. Sonny gets the disc. Buzz should be thinking, I need to take Thomas, not Sonny. And then Chris can communicate that, and then he can take toe, and then that means that Chris and Buzz are on this side of the field to me in the middle, and I can take the middle space. Okay, so again, Buzz has stopped. I know, so the swing didn't go, and Buzz has stopped too early. Should still go, and Chris is too far across, especially considering like me and him are in a line. Should definitely be heading more right. I mean, Ko-Chüng has got this side of the field, which is quite lucky for Chris, but Chris should be more on the inside out. Buzz, again, seeing this disc going, should be running away from the disc into the open side lane. So he should have been turned around, see where Thomas is, and head this direction in between them. But instead he's sort of more focused on Ken, and well, Ken's definitely not his job, and Sonny is not going to be his job because he's got the disc. Okay, that's a better shape there. Maybe a little bit left on both Chris and myself, and then Buzz can stay right, his left a bit more. Sorry. But he's gone now, not paying attention to where I am, and he's gone far too round to the his right. So Chris should be a little bit further back. He should be seeing that the chances are this disc is either going to Alexis or Ken. He can stop the Alexis throw by being in the way, but as soon as this goes, he needs to run hard and try to get a layout bid on the swing. Okay, or stop the swing, discourage the swing, or make it go backwards. But he doesn't, he just keeps the shape, and it means that they can swing it easy. Again, should be paying attention to what's around him. He should be more up on Gordon's right, over here on Gordon's right. And then this wouldn't go. I mean, the first one should have gone. Okay, next point. Slightly different people in the cup. We've got Jeffrey this time and Buzz with Ko-Chüng on the mark. Jeffrey's positioning is good there, more right shoulder. Buzz needs to just drop off here. Ko-Chüng falls straight up. Okay, it's a bit better. Jeffrey could be a bit further back, and Buzz can be a bit more to his left, but generally that shape is a bit better. Ko-Chüng is probably a bit close again. Yeah, Ko-Chüng could be a bit further away. Okay, the shape's alright. Jeffrey's gone properly over to the right hand side, discouraged that throw and made it come back this way. Okay, Buzz is more on his side now, and he's looking at both sides, so he should be able to see this player coming in. And Jeffrey can take a step off. That's good, and we're keeping it trapped. We've kept it trapped for 3-4 passes now. Okay, this is building pressure. Ko Chung's too close though. Jeffrey's gone a bit too close as well in this situation, but Buzz is doing a good job there. Sometimes as a force, being too close just doesn't work. Again, should have taken a step off, just to make sure the backhand doesn't go. Like, they've got 3 players in front of him. He's not going to go forwards very easily. So the danger is going backwards. Jeffrey's probably a bit too close. He's not probably going to stop the swing at this situation. As soon as it goes though, he needs to try. I think he does stop it actually in this case, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's good. So we're keeping it trapped. The shape is good. Shape's a lot better. Chris is supporting Buzz behind. Toe's going to try to find this hole, but it's okay. Inside's covered. Ko Chung needs to come round. Again, that's a good shape. Ko Chung can come round, a bit more round on the backhand now. Jeffrey should be telling him. Okay, I need to turn around at this point and see what's behind me because there's no threat in front of me at the moment, so I should be on a swivel. Jeffrey could be the same, but wants to stop the round. Ko Chung doing, I mean, he's being aggressive, which is great, but it's too close. Draws the foul in the end, which gives them some respite. So it's best just to take that step off, especially later in the count. Accepted foul. Jeffrey needs to drop off now. Patrick is looking at the disc and should be closer to where Sonny is. I'm assuming there's someone else deep and that's why Alex is pushed up, but I would prefer Patrick to be here and looking at getting this big hammer, and then Jeffrey taking a few more steps away to make it hard to throw to Toe. But in the end, Patrick gets beaten over his head, which is that's really dangerous for us. Now it's lucky that the disc got dropped, but we don't want to get beaten in that area. This is the cup. The majority of us on the right hand side of the pool, the left hand side, sorry, of the pool. We need to run across the field and then push the way we're forcing. We run too straight at the defense, and they have an opportunity to go round us before we're even down. So we need to work together when we run down to be spread out more, and then also thinking like coming from the right hand side and pushing left if we're trapping flick. If we're trapping both sides, which we'll do later on, then that's okay, but we need to spread out a bit more. Didn't hurt us this time. This is a pretty good shape. Maybe Chris could take one more step to his right, but it's a better distance. They're not right next to each other. There's a hole which the middle is covering. Chris could step a bit more right here, and as soon as this disc goes, Buzz should be looking to stop the continuation, and I should be stopping to look at the middle. But instead, Buzz has stepped inwards, which allows this toe throw to go. If Toe gets it, he can then throw through this middle bracket. So he should have been running away. It's too interested in Alexis here. Let's just rewind a little bit. Like, Alexis is getting the disc. It's not about Alexis. It's about the next throw. Alexis is getting this disc. Okay, sees that a bit too late maybe, and then not looked for the next throw, which is Toe, but then stays in, like steps another side step in, and then turns once the disc gets thrown, and then pays attention to Alexis. But if he just ran into this space, would have maybe stopped the Thomas throw. I'm assuming there's someone here-ish that Chris is worried about. Maybe not. Maybe Chris could have been on the inside. I don't know. I can't see where what Alex is marking. Patrick is too aggressive on the other side. Lucky that it turns over. Good starting shape. Better starting shape. Ken throws a few of these lefties. It's just a good throw. A bit annoying. I think Jeffrey has to change his tactics and put his left hand up, and Ko Chung can think about helping him a bit. But they don't really hurt us because they don't go anywhere. just making us run. Buzz is probably too close. He needs to be further away. And then Jeffrey needs to just try run between them so they can't easily throw back between each other. Don't mind that. Not going to go anywhere once he caught that. It's surrounded by people. Now Ka-Chun needs to back off. Buzz is too close. Should be more where my cursor is here. Knowing that the disc might go to Alexis, and then he needs to stop any continuation. Ka-Chun needs to come more on the inside. Now he has to. Now it's been thrown on the break. He has to stop the break side continuation. She does do, works hard, which is good. Get the shape back. That's pretty good shape. Buzz is turned around, which is good. Does need to know that if the disc goes to Alexis, he has to stop the next throw. So do I as well. But this shape is better. It's going to go to Buzz, and now he needs to think about going more to Thomas's right, and if there's someone else over here, definitely stopping it, and I need to come as well. But it takes a bit too long to turn. It's a bit more agile than that. Good stoppage by Nick there, stopping the discontinue. Buzz is too close again. Yeah. That's better D by Buzz though, looking for scanning the field, looking. Now so got to pick that. I mean, it'd be nice if he could have picked that one up. That was hard though. He's come from a long way. He's come from a bit of a blind spot. But notice how it shouldn't really matter if he gets this disc. Okay, the key now is that Jeffrey doesn't let the early disc go to Ken, and Ka-Chun doesn't let an early disc go to across the field, and me and Buzz stop any continuation to Alexis. So Jeffrey definitely could take a step right here and try to seal this off. Ka-Chun is next to him on the left hand side. Too interested in where the disc is probably, rather than thinking about stopping the disc going back out for a swing. So step right here hard. Ka-Chun should be telling him. Okay. And then once this goes, Ka-Chun needs to try to get to here. It's a long way away for him, but he needs to try to stop the swing. Okay. Now people are tired. You can see that people are flagging. I think man's been called. And it's all over. Okay, good pull. Flat cup, bit aggressive maybe for a flat cup. Probably on transition on 5, that's fine. Don't get too close, don't want the disc to go through. Okay. And then I think that was the transition. Okay, so Ka-Chun is thinking about taking here. Chris needs to come into this space so then he can work out with the other Chris who's take. Jeffrey should be okay, Buzz should be okay, Nick should be okay, everyone else should have somebody. Okay, it's a shame that backhand went. Ka-Chun maybe could have got a nibble at it, but now like we're sorted. Chris is here, Ka-Chun is on the right, Chris is in the middle, Buzz is taken, Nick has got, Jeffrey's got, and I'm sure Alex, so I think it's Alex back here, has probably got somebody. So everyone is sorted. So this is where we have to really try hard to play hard man defense and not let anything easy up. The dump is too easy. Okay, need to be closer on that. But then we do get better positioning, and eventually gets a forced throw downfield. And Nick gets a D. So that's a pretty good transition. Okay. This could have been slightly more hard when we transitioned, but generally it was pretty good. Once Chris engaged Alex as a dump, I'd have liked him to have just stayed with Alex. And now I would like Chris to run across the field. Alex has got a really nice backhand, forced to squat straight up. So if you run across the field, then he can throw his break or throw to you. But you're clogging up the backhand side at the moment. And all Alex can do is dump. Again, Chris should run across the field, but by that time it's a pretty poor decision to throw the hammer. Okay. There's a better shape coming down, running down than the previous point. Thinking about the shape and then pushing to the flick side. Okay, and running in at that angle, that's a good shape. Okay, it's a far better shape. I want Jeffrey to get in between Ken and Sonny and get Chris to get in between the far side and I think it's David, Sonny and David. So yeah, Jeffrey needs to think about straight away, because this is 7 meters away from the sideline, so we should be trapping hard. It's too straight up. Okay, Chris should be telling him that he's too straight up. That's better. Distance is a little bit. Buzz is too close now. As soon as this disc goes, Buzz needs to take the line first, then think about poppers. Okay. And then if Jeffrey can get in between Sonny and Ken, then that stops a return pass. Okay, so I'm just going to go back a little bit. This is what I was saying, like he needs to stop the continuation first, because Chris is always going to come to this side. I'm going to come into the middle bit and try to stop this if I can, but I've got less distance to travel. I've got more distance to travel. So Buzz can run away from the disc a bit, get this angle, create this triangle so nothing can come between us. Then that's going to help stop this happening. The side handler getting it and throwing it into the middle of the field. Patrick, as soon as Patrick's too far up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus him. So Patrick can see 1, 2, 3, 4 players. There's 4 players here, so he knows there must be other people deep or behind him. So he needs to be dropping into this position. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 4. So that must mean there must be people behind. So Patrick should be turning around and looking, scanning the backfield, not the front field, and gets beaten. Quite an easy disc. Whereas Chris and Alex had their people. And that's it. That's the end of that video. So the shaping of the cup got better in this practice, but still could be improved. Key things: 1, the wing, making sure they're not too aggressive. 2, the cup, on the left hand side, on the open side, person of the cup needs to run away from the disc and stop continuation when the disc gets swung. The cup generally was too close together, and there should be a hole between the inside out of the cup and the open side of the cup, where the middle can live a bit deeper in space. The force needs to make sure it doesn't get too close, and make sure that you seal off the backhand, the around, where possible. The inside out of the cup generally was too close and needs to be thinking about stopping the swing when the dump goes backwards. So if we improve all those things, then our cup is going to become a lot more effective.